Hello, everyone, and welcome to Live Signing. I am Steve Kazee. I am here moderating this live signing with a very special guest tonight. This is Jenna Dewan, the author of Gracefully You, Finding Beauty and Balance in the Everyday. And welcome,
Hi, babe.
Jenna. Hi, how are you? Babe?
Babe.
This is a professional interview. I'm going to stick to Steve and Jenna.
Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you this
Hello.
evening?
Thank you
so much for joining us all here and
you.
sharing your time with us to talk about this beautiful book that you've written.
Thank you.
Could you tell us a little bit about why you're here today, Jenna?
Yes, Steve Kazee. I wrote this book.
Thank you for pronouncing my last name right, by the way.
No, it's not Kazee, people. It's Kazee.
Continue.
Anything else we need to clear up or do tonight? This is my book I wrote, Gracefully You. It is my 2 years of labor and love to write this book. It's kind of a little bit of, is this like the most me thing you've ever?
Yeah, if I were to condense you down into like a book form,
chapters.
It's absolutely this book, 100%.
Is like, I don't even know how to, everyone's like, how do you explain this book? It's a little bit of everything that I love. It is a coffee table book, but it's also a lifestyle book. I talk about all the things that I love, my spiritual energy and presence.
Let me ask you a question. What was your inspiration to write this book in the first place? And when did you start working on this book?
I started, I still am dying to hear it. I started 2 years ago. I had a wonderful call, and my agent at the time had said, would you be interested in doing a book? And I said, yeah, would they let me do a poetry book? And he was like, I think so. And everyone was like, yeah, do a poetry book. So I had an intention to do a book of poetry that I had written, but also curated poetry of different poets that I know and love. And then it just kind of kept developing, because then I was like, oh, I want to add in a story, or I want to add in this little moment. And then I was like, well, I could talk about all my spiritual things that I love that's super me and important to me. And then it became this. A little bit of everything.
Well, I mean, you know, I have personal knowledge of your process in writing this book. Can you talk a little bit to your fans about the shift that happened in writing the book and how it started off and what it eventually became? Because I think there was two different things, right?
Yeah. Yes. It became, well, it just developed naturally. It really did. It started as I was adding little things in here and there, and then I would have people come up and say, well, how do you find balance? Like, you live a crazy life. You're a mother, you're an actress, you are working all the time. What do? You seem balanced. And I was like, well, I try. I don't know if I'm like really that balanced, but I try. So I added that in there, and then I said, well, what's important to me is my spiritual connection. And so I added in processes to achieve that. And then I went through a crazy time in life. So of course, it's hard to write a book about you without acknowledging the growth that you've done as a person. So that ended up in there. And then Evie ended up in here, because she's obviously the love of my life, and she's in here. And so it just kind of became a little bit of everything.
Nice.
Is that a good answer?
That's a great answer, and I just think it's important for people to hear that, because it's it's a part of life that we all go through. It's like things start off one way, and then your expectations change, and you have to sort of like regroup. What was your favorite part about writing this book?
I liked that it was a different form of expression that I was able to use as an outlet. It was also nice to be able to express myself in a way that I hadn't before. And I liked the idea of being able to access more people with who I am and what I love and what I believe, in a way that you wouldn't just get from an interview or a role that they've seen that I've done, or it was more personal. It was like more personal connection.
Yeah, one thing that I think I've mentioned to a few people is that, you know, a lot of times I think people, especially people who are in the public eye, they write a book because it's an easy thing to do. It's an easy way to like get themselves seen on a bigger platform. But very rarely have I seen so personally how someone is so genuinely what comes across in the book. Like, it's not none of this is for, you know, a mood board or you know, your sort of like influencing side of a career. This is genuinely you as a person on the page. And how did you
Thanks,
make
babe.
sure that well, of course, how did you make sure that came across
Stayed
in
that
the
way?
book? Yeah.
Well, incredible. I mean, obviously, like incredible publishers and working with me and letting me and trusting me to be able to not micromanaging it, not trying to tell me what they needed from me for a book. It literally was like, write whatever you want and make it authentic and make it you. And because I have to go out there and talk about it, and I have to be the one that's wanting people to read this. So, and there's something about me, you know this about me, but you know how like I can't talk about something that I don't really believe in, or I couldn't
Right.
like sign on to a product or be the face of something, or even really do a job that I'm not like happy speaking about. So I definitely couldn't do that with the book. So they were really great. They let me do whatever and let me take it and run with it. And I kept going, are you sure you really want a spiritual book about my spiritual connection to life with just only a few personal stories in there? Like, is that? And they're like, yeah. Like, we love that. We want you to do that. And that ended up being what was the most interesting to me.
Nice. Speaking of personal stories, let's talk a little bit about this because,
God.
well, no, because this is something we've talked about privately, and it is hard that, and I think it's a great way to, you know, because this is such a wonderful venue to approach this because no one is going for the salacious here. So the tendency, I think, with people is to focus on the more high-profile
Yes.
parts of your book and involve everybody else, but you take some time to explain exactly what's in the book and the depth that is in the book beyond the personal stories, because I think that'd be really helpful for people to understand.
Thank you. Thanks, honey.
You're welcome.
Yeah, there's, you know, it's funny. It's like people want to talk about this book as being like something that is only about the challenges that I've gone through in my life, and I'm so happy to say it is so much more than that. It's a lot about, for me, it is how to connect to a deeper presence, a deeper part of yourself, a higher presence. That is like through and through this book. But, you know, of course, it's hard to do that without speaking personally about your life and the challenges, whatever your challenges are that we all kind of go through that are being, so I'm being told to sign books at the same time.
Oh, so I'm just enjoying the interview.
Thanks.
That's right, we're going to
Thanks,
sign some
honey.
books here, people.
Thanks. What? Oh, yeah, we can buy them. You can buy them.
Oh, yeah.
Please buy
Just
my
for
books.
everyone at home watching around the world on your devices, make sure that you go to premiercollectibles.com/Jenna, where you can purchase your own copy of the book and ask a question, which I'm going to start reading here in a minute, so you know you want to get your question on here.
Yes.
So make sure you
Buy
buy
a
the book,
book, get a
premiercollectibles.com/Jenna. And what else? You have just the books available there, or any like personal effects,
No.
like used hairbrushes?
I know,
or
right? Should I have brought things with
collectibles,
me?
like crystals that you don't like anymore?
I should have. I mean, you know, I have
It'd
a
be a great
whole.
idea to just throw some things in last minute, right?
How
Like
did you feel
coffee
when
with us
you
in
saw
LA?
how many crystals I had?
I was intimidated by the amount of crystals in the home, for sure, but I embraced it. And
Yes.
now, you know me, I'm out there in a full moon charging up
I
my
was gonna say.
my own bowl of crystals.
Yeah,
That's,
there
that's
was
how
a
we
moment
do
in time.
the Dewan Kazee household.
We definitely have a whole bowl
So,
now.
well, I'm glad you got a chance to talk about that, because I think it's
Yeah.
important.
To answer
Now,
your question?
yeah.
Should I go back and do more?
no, I think it's
Okay.
good. But let me ask you another question. I hear you're pregnant. Congratulations.
Yeah, isn't that a
first off.
surprise?
That's such great news. So you have a daughter who's
Yes.
incredible.
Yes.
And
Talk about how
was
amazing Evie is.
well, what I want to know is, in writing this book, was there anything that went into? Did you think about sort of like leaving a manual for her? I mean, not leaving, because clearly you're not going anywhere anytime soon, but like having a sort of manual for her to look to someday when she's, you know, in her 20s and in her 30s, and she starts to
Yeah.
sort of like face some of the like real struggles in life, and where you would need a book like this.
Yeah, I absolutely did. And I think like that all the time. I think with everything I say, every job, every move, you know, I do that. I want Evie to always look back and see her mother act with grace, because I think that we always say, like, it's more than what you say, it's what your actions are, what you're doing. So I want her to be able to see that and to know that. And how cool, like I wish like I had a book that my mom had written and was about deeper issues, and you can really get a sense of me, and like a lot of these things, like I do want to know if she ever is going through or going through a hard time or a challenge or whatever, that she could turn to a chapter and read something and be like, that's
Well,
what my
she has her
mom
own
said.
chapter, which she is obsessed
Yes.
with, which is amazing.
She does have her own chapter. You guys.
Now, do you know if you're having a boy or a girl?
I mean, wouldn't you like to know? Like, that's
So
for private. I keep that to myself for
I
privacy
appreciate that.
reasons.
I appreciate that.
Maybe you'll find out one day.
We'll see. So, is there anything that you wish you would have put in the book that you didn't? Like in retrospect, is there something where you're like, oh, I wish I would have written about this part of like my journey or my routine,
Right.
or
No, but I do. It's funny because you write this book, and it obviously takes. You write it. It took 2 years, and I would notice things would change, even in a month. I would want to go back and rewrite something, or go back again and kind of redo certain parts. So, after it's been done and published and it's out, there are moments I read through and I'm like, oh, I wish I could kind of speak more on this part, or go back and I'm like, does that mean I'm like doing another book? Because it definitely kind of, you want to, there's more to say sometimes.
right?
But I don't say I would leave anything
Well, should we take some questions? Do you think?
out. Yeah, babe.
All right, let's see who we got here. I think we've got Brittany
Okay.
from Billerica, Massachusetts.
Okay.
I don't have any
Hi,
idea
Brittany.
what that is, but she wants to know, what's your meaning of life, happiness, success, and fulfillment? Or wait, what's your meaning of life? Is it happiness, success, fulfillment? I see what she's saying.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, all of that it's all kind of encompassed into everything, but for me it is personal connections with people I love, and deeper connections with people I love, and connections with something bigger than myself. Those are all super of high values, and that's, to me, the meaning of life. I don't think we're going to be leaving this planet, this earth, and going, man, I really wish I did that job.
Right,
I
yeah.
think we're going to be going, I'm really glad I made that personal connection, that I formed that relationship, that these people matter, that they're here, that I felt love.
Yeah, I don't think anybody on their deathbed is like, how much do I have in the bank?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
am so glad I did that job.
Right.
No one's thinking
Nobody
that.
goes like, oh, did I pay that cable bill?
Yeah.
No. Great, well, thanks for the question, Brittany.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks, Brittany.
that. Let's see, Yvonne from Stamford, Connecticut, home of the WWE, I might add.
Oh, here we go.
Says, hi, Jenna. I multitask on a daily routine. At the end of the day, I feel exhausted.
Yeah.
What do you recommend for stress?
Oh, girl.
I think I already know this answer. But
Yeah, why don't you take this away?
Salt bath.
Salt baths.
Salt
Yeah.
bath number one. Nice Epsom salt bath.
I feel ya, first of all. I'm exhausted a lot at the end of the day. And I love a salt bath because it causes you to relax. It forces you to take a time for yourself, but it's also, there's a lot of properties to the salt and being in there that kind of relaxes your body and your mind, and it
And
just
you,
feels
your
good.
chapter in the book that like is sort of about salt baths.
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
There's like
Take the
4
day off
pictures
bath?
of you, in the bath.
Yes.
Like that might seem like a staged photo for a book. Let me just tell you, it's what our bathtub looks like. The amount of times that I have to like go in and clean like flower petals out of the bathtub before
Or
I
like
can take a
twigs.
bath. Or like anything.
like anything. Like,
Palo Santo sticks burning all throughout the bathroom. It's
like-
really, it's honestly, it's a very impressive routine to see happen.
I'm glad you're
It's
saying
like-
this. People
Yeah.
know that I do this.
Oh, for sure you do. It's literally like a witchy ceremony. I'll come in and like burning Palo Santo over the tub, and throwing like flower petals and just the right amount of an essential oil, and like my favorite is watching you look at the box of essential oils and like trying to figure out which one for the night. Like, oh, should I use a little bit of like
Do you know which
cedar?
one my favorite is?
White angelica.
Oh, you really did know that.
Yeah, of course.
I am
Boyfriend
so
points.
impressed with that.
Total
Like,
boyfriend points.
that's really good points.
Baby daddy points now.
Yeah, that's
boyfriend
you're
sounds
like
so
you've upped the
trivial.
game. You're now baby daddy over there.
Let's see. Jody from Lower Hut. Oh, Was this Lower Hutt, Wellington, New Zealand? Is this New Zealand? Yeah.
Talk
Right
only
then.
in an accent.
When you made the decision to become a vegan,
Yeah.
what influenced your choice to do so as opposed to vegetarianism and still having dairy, poultry, and fish?
I had watched a documentary on the dairy industry, and it was so, it was really awful.
Yeah.
And I felt really bad. And this particular one that I watched, you know
let's.
me.
I mean, let's.
Well, no, but you'll like this part because you know me. It went right for my like Achilles heel, where they showed a mother that had just given birth, and they basically took the baby
Oh yeah, no. Oh.
away from, and the mom. They should have video of the mother
I'm
account
gonna start losing viewers.
crying. I'm sorry. Keep watching. Anyways, it it really affected me, and so I went without it. And not perfect. I go in and out a lot because
Not
travel.
too in and out.
I don't
You
go
go
in and out.
in and out.
I go in and out.
Yeah, you're about to get a story.
There's really
going.
nothing for me at in and out.
No.
So, but I go in and out of being really good and healthy and on plan and kind of, you know, just life happens.
Right.
But yeah, vegan, I have to say, the best I've ever felt was vegan, following Kimberly Snyder, this amazing nutritionist, like the way she ate. I was like, God, it was so good.
It's tricky.
It's good.
The pregnancy cravings make it very tricky.
Yeah, when this baby wants nothing but chips and
I mean, I'm from the South, so you know they got my junk food
It's
genes.
all your fault.
Yeah. So
all your fault.
let's see. That was Jody. Thanks, Jody. Let's go to
Jody.
Maria in Wilder, Kentucky, my
Ooh.
home state.
Oh, look at that.
I'm from Ashland myself. Wilder's.
Is Wilder close to Asheville?
Where am I from?
Ashland?
She says, "What's your best advice for moms feeling the frustrations of toddler tantrums?" That's a great question.
Well, since Evie is still very strong-willed, is she not? For years, her tantrums were quite intense, and you know, she had a good fight in her. I found I had the boundaries, like I had to learn it. I would give in the beginning a lot to her needs and wants so that she didn't have a tantrum because they would be intense. And then I found that I actually had to remove myself, like allow her to feel her feelings, but remove myself from the situation, give space, come back, and we worked it out. So it was just boundaries.
Yeah. You are one of the most patient mothers I've ever experienced in my life.
Babe.
And it's true. I mean, I've seen you really like, you know, in some tough situations,
Yeah.
and you always handle it with like really like a very level sense of patience and grace. It's
Thank
impressive
you.
to see.
Did I do it
Yeah.
gracefully?
Yeah, very gracefully. You're a great parent in that way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's see. Let's
You
go
too,
to
by the way.
let's go to Maya from Wichita, Kansas. She says, "What are your top 3 favorite books?
Okay.
If your life were a book, what would the title be?"
Uh-huh.
And
Other than
oh, and then she
Gracefully
says
You.
you're such an inspiration. Yeah, I mean it is kind of already a
I
book
think that the title of my book would be
Maya.
Gracefully You, just because.
that you just bought.
Top 3 favorite books. Okay. 1,000 Splendid Suns.
Many Lives, Many Masters.
Many Lives, Many Masters. I love. Flowers in the Attic.
Oh my God, Left
Listen, I love it
I'm
so much.
obsessed with this book.
I was a V.C. Andrews teenage obsessed. I loved her. But let me think of another really.
You remember when I took Evie to the bookstore and I tried to get her to
yes.
come home and tell you that she had bought V.C. Andrews books?
Oh yes, Evie
She
gave
she couldn't remember the name V.C. Andrews.
Yeah, she came back.
It's
She's
amazing.
like, I bought the Vicky.
The Vicky something.
Vicky something, and I was like, the what? And I was like, Steve.
And she like
Tizzy.
run over to me and she's like, what was it
What
again?
was the name of the author? Yeah. I know I have another one that I'm forgetting, but I love those 3. I also really like Michael Pollan's. I'm still not all the way through it, but Michael Pollan's How to Change Your Mind book.
Yeah.
Really good.
It's got some great stuff. Let's see, Jenna. Who should we go to next? Let's go to, you want to go to Arkansas?
You're very good at this.
Do you want to go to California or Illinois?
I'm going to go Illinois.
Oh, Illinois. This is Lake in the Hills, Illinois. This is Kristen. She says, what's your daily routine when you're not working?
we have to go to premiercollectibles.com.
Oh, yeah. Well, listen, can't forget why we're here. Take your time now, folks, and head on over to premiercollectibles.com/Jenna to pick up your own copy of Gracefully You. And then you can ask us a question, which I will read on the air to Jenna if we get to them all.
You are very good at this.
Thanks. I'm actually like thinking I might get into this.
Finding your flow right now?
Well, I was thinking like Seacrest has got to be done soon, right? Like he doesn't want to keep doing that trip. No, he doesn't want to keep doing that trip back and forth. I don't think that's going to get old after a while. I'm ready. Call me.
Are you going to take my spot and hosting here?
Yeah, I think so.
You're pretty good at this.
I'm starting to like this. So, what's your daily routine when you're not working?
Oh, changes with every single day.
Other than just hanging out with me all day.
I mean, hanging with this guy all the time. All the time. My daily routine most of the time starts at 6:45 when we wake up to take Eddie to school. Take her to school and then generally do meetings within that time, work out within that time, pick her up. She works me into like Yogurtland or the bookstore.
My kid loves a Yogurtland trip.
She loves a bookstore and a Yogurtland trip. That is for sure.
That is actually really that's a really interesting thing is that your daughter, I think because of your love of books, is just book obsessed.
Yeah, she's book obsessed.
Which is really interesting because I mean she also like loves the iPad when she gets it.
Yeah.
But really, like I feel like it'd be a strong contest between like reading a book or like getting to watch a show.
Yeah, that's our bargaining
I think she probably
point.
gets that from you. I didn't really have that as a kid growing up.
I really encouraged early literacy. Like I wanted her to just like read. Like it was like it doesn't matter. We go to the bookstore and you can splurge and get 5 books because it meant she was trying to read.
How much does it melt your heart to watch her? Now she's like starting to learn to read.
Yeah.
And like watching her like sound out words.
I
and
mean,
like,
it's the cutest thing
cutest
in the world.
Yeah.
She literally be like, how?
Ha, ooh. It's like when she does all the like sounds like welcome, welcome, and you're just like crying.
It is
so cute.
absolutely cute.
And did we answer that question? Yeah. Your daily routine. Yeah. Let's see, Miriam in Hicksville, New York. What are some tips to focus on? Oh, interesting. What are some tips to focus on in a vegetarian vegan diet?
Ooh,
what are some favorite ingredients?
Good grain, like bowls are great. Good grains, beans, quinoa, lots of vegetables, salads.
Quinoa?
Quinoa. Oh my God! Here we go. like quinoa.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Quinoa?
Jenna loves to really pronounce, the proper pronunciation of food. Like when we go to a Mexican restaurant, Jenna would prefer a quesadilla. She's like, hi, can I get a quesadilla? Instead of a quesadilla.
Please, let's poll everybody. Quinoa.
Quinoa?
Or quinoa.
That's what you said at home the other day.
Quinoa.
You said, have you seen any quinoa? And I was like, quinoa? How fancy.
Quinoa. Quinoa. How fancy. Quinoa.
You got some quinoa? Yeah.
Oh my Lord, we're losing people.
No,
quinoa,
this is great. This is what keeps them in here.
Black beans, vegetables, lots of salads, fruit, just like things that will fill you up, starches, things like that will really fill you up, and flavors, lots of spices.
Yeah.
I like that's why I love Mexican food, so all the spice.
Is that your favorite cuisine, Mexican food?
Yes.
It's also really easy to eat vegetarian, vegan Mexican food. It's like one of the easiest sort of to do, I feel like.
Remember when we first discovered we both like Mexican food the same amount?
Yeah.
That was so
good.
exciting.
That was a great day.
That was a great day.
And now we're pregnant. Look at that.
Look at that.
So just want to remind everyone, go to premiercollectibles.com/Jenna. Pick up your copy of the book today. It's a great book. I've read it.
Did you read the whole thing?
I've read a lot of it so far.
Do you have questions?
I do. So in the notes, there's a thing I read that says,
no.
You know how usually at these signings you do like a reading, right, of the book. We should just read this
dangerous.
part. So many people helping me bring this vision to life, blah, blah, blah. Then there's this part. To my love, you're the biggest gift in my life. You inspire me and make me stand in awe and thank my lucky stars every single day. I love you. Who is that and where can I find him?
I don't know. God, it must be someone really special.
Did you know I didn't even know that was in there until I saw it on your Instagram?
I told you that.
I think I was playing Fortnite.
Oh my God. I told him that, people. And you went, oh, that's really sweet, babe. So I know you did on
I think
some
I was
level
playing
listen.
Fortnite.
No, I
was
can't.
like doing
When
that.
you're playing
Like,
Fortnite, I can't.
do I have headphones on?
No.
Oh, okay.
You just did listen.
All right. Well, thanks, Miriam. For
There's
that question.
other parts of you in the book too, by the way. I don't know if you've read it.
I've read that. Yeah, I read that.
The dice, the die thing.
Yeah, the die. I have a
Sounds
thing
you.
about die. I collect a little die. You know, you got to take chances in life. Roll the dice. Let's see. Brandy in Paragould, Arkansas says, "What is something that you've gotten the chance to do in your life, or what you haven't gotten the chance to do in your life that you would really like to?"
I really want. What is something? I want to travel to. I want to go to India. I'd like to go do a little bit more traveling, obviously, in time to come.
Yeah.
Not right now.
I was going to say, should we go now?
Should we go now? Now or later? Travel a little bit more. I still, at some point, would love to do an action something. Movie, TV show, something action-y. More, produce more stuff.
How do you feel about owning a horse?
I mean, you know, I'm
Sort
a
of
little
been
nervous.
thinking
about
about,
horses.
like, getting a horse lately.
You are?
People tell
You
me
want a
not to
horse?
do it. They say it's a bad investment.
Where are we going to put that horse?
Well, that's the thing. You got to get like a stable, someone to care for the horse in the stable, unless you're doing it every day.
I've never known this about you.
Anyway, just something to
That is your
My birthday's coming up.
your
So
roots. Okay, yeah. I got 4 days till his birthday. Am I supposed to be finding a horse?
I don't mean, listen, I don't want to tell you what to do, but I wouldn't say nay.
Should I rescue a horse? Oh my.
So,
Oh, my
Melanie in San Diego,
Lord.
California, they're like regretting me asking me to do this. Last minute. They're like, what have we
Did you
done?
think all day about that, or did that just pop in your head?
Just right in there.
Oh my god.
Right in there.
You are made for
Also,
this.
I would like to remind everybody to head on over to premiercollectibles.com/Jenna. And that's
Please.
Premier, it's PREMIER collectibles.com, not Premier like, PREIMER,
Yeah.
something like that. I
Spell
didn't do
that,
that
babe.
right, but you know what I'm saying. Oh, wait, no, it is the, I'm sorry, it is that way. I can't read. It's PREMIERE, not the R. Right? Because
So
sometimes they say Premier with just the
fascinating
R.
watching you work
Collectibles.com/Jenna. Pick up your copy of Gracefully You, Finding Beauty and Balance in the Everyday. So, Jenna,
Yeah.
Melanie in San Diego wants to know, what one spiritual trinket would you recommend or have? Oh, I know this one too.
What?
A labradorite
Oh
crystal.
yeah. Labradorite crystal. Yeah, I mean a good trinket.
Or actually, probably
It's
like
like
a
crystal.
quartz, just like a
Rose
quartz,
quartz?
like a quartz rod.
It's all
Like those.
selenite things?
That's the one I'm thinking.
Selenite.
Selenite. Yeah.
What's so nice about crystals is it's really nice when somebody gives it to you as a gift, or there's some sort of moment with it that you're given it, and then it becomes kind of like a talisman, like something that you can always have and keep with you, because those are the best. And then you remember the person. I have that crystal of Nicole's.
I'll just give you some more books to sign here. And those books are available where?
At premiercollectibles/Jenna.
.com.
.com.
Jenna. Yeah.
God, you're really gonna take my job.
Casey in Staunton, Massachusetts. Staunton. Massachusetts has the greatest city names.
Stop.
Like Staunton.
That is pretty cool.
It's like it's a very specific city name state, don't you think?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
If you could meet anyone, past or present, who would you choose?
Jane Goodall. I've never met Jane.
Well, that was another thing we connected early on.
Yes.
Fascinating human being.
I love her.
Like, if I could have done anything else with my life, I think I would have, when I was 18, I would packed a bag and just went to find Jane Goodall and be like,
know.
can I apprentice here? Can I
Me
literally
too.
just clean up monkey poop and just watch you? She's a
Me
fascinating human being.
Too. Me too.
That's a great answer.
Yeah. Thanks. Wow.
Great answer.
Thanks.
Great answer.
I mean, should
Anne
we meet her
in-
together?
Huh? Yeah, we should make that happen.
Yeah.
Anne in Kaiser, Oregon, she says, what brings you joy even when you're in, oh, well, that's me, clearly. What brings you joy even when you're in the midst of struggle or stress?
You're looking at him.
No, please, we know the real answer to this one.
What, Evie?
Yes,
I
100%.
mean, that's kind of true. Evie definitely brings. I've had many of stressful days, moments, and then as soon as I see that little monkey, it all just kind of melts away, and her smile and her little laugh, and how much she just is so present. She's like, Mom, Mom, and right there with me. It totally makes me remember what's important in life.
Now
You
listen.
do that too, baby.
Well, thanks, babe. But you know, can't compete with that kid. She's incredible.
You're a great team.
This next question, I was like not gonna ask it, but I think it's a good question to ask you
Okay.
because I think it gives you a chance to like speak for yourself, which is nice.
Okay.
Vanessa in Stratford, Wisconsin says, "How do you stay positive through negative comments that are directed towards you? Because being in the public eye, you do take a lot of flack from a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that I never had really experienced until I started dating you, and then it sort of bleeds over
Yeah.
onto me now,
Yes.
which is it's very interesting.
Yeah.
It
Interesting.
tends not, well,
It's,
know,
it's complicated, right?
it's a very complicated thing to be in the public eye.
Yeah.
Everyone feels like they have an opinion, or
Yes.
they get to speak to your life, which
Yeah.
is sort of, I always say, it's sort of the trade-off
Mm-hmm.
for the careers that we have. It's like, you know, if you work in a coal mine, you run the possibility of getting black lung. You
Mm-hmm.
might like make a lot of money and have a great pension plan, but you also have this. So like as an actor, performer, musician, you get to do this great job, but then people feel some sort of ownership
Yeah.
towards you, and they feel like they
Opinions.
get to like say things about you. And you know, I know that in your previous marriage, it was very public, and people had very strong opinions about it. And when that ended, I think people sort of directed a lot of negativity towards you.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
It was, well, it was funny because I have been in this business for so long that I sometimes wonder, like, do I remember what it was like before people all had opinions and I was able to read them all and see them all? But I really think that it comes down to, like we always talk about, like, you know what's important in your life, and you know what feels good to you, and you know what matters, and you focus on those things. And everybody's going to have an opinion. You hope that people are able to understand that, you know, we are all people that are going through our own challenges, and we're all trying to come out of them in the highest, most graceful way. And you got to let a lot of this just slide.
Right.
It's got to like kind of roll off you.
Right.
You cannot the tricky part is not letting people's opinions define you or make you defensive or feel
Right.
like you need to like change who you are in order to please somebody. It's like, just be you. Try, you know, Abby's a great barometer because I want her to always be able to see what I've written or said or gone through and be proud of it. And also to think like that's what's important right
Right.
there. It's
Right.
not what someone's opinion of their projection of what I'm going through is to me.
But it's not easy.
It's not
Right?
easy.
It's like, and I think people don't understand that. Like, I
Yeah.
think when they hear people who are in the public eye or high-profile people complain about like the negativity, they sort of have this attitude of like, "Oh, suck it up."
Right?
Right, but, like,
you did this, so you should.
It hurts just, I always
Yeah.
say, like, try to think of it outside the vacuum of social media.
Yeah.
That you would just walk down the street and see somebody and be like, that dress is horrid.
Yeah.
You
wouldn't
would
say
never do that to anybody.
You wouldn't say that to someone's face.
Right.
And it is, yeah, it's absolutely, it's complicated. It's like, it's not an easy fine line to walk because we want to do what we love.
Right.
I love, for the majority, this is what's great. The majority of the people that I speak to and the things I read and what I do tends to be positive.
Yeah.
And so it kind of, it's nice to be able to connect with people, and that sort of outweighs the slightly negative side of things. But there are moments,
Yeah.
like almost every other day, I want to get on and be like, nope, that's not what's in this book. This is what I mean about that. And you feel this
Right,
like
right.
sense, and you kind of always got to go, you know what? They'll get to it. They'll read it. They'll understand. It's
Right.
like you just kind of let
Sort of
them.
it'll find the person it needs to find anyway, I think.
Yeah.
It's the universe, right?
Yeah.
And also, just as a little side note, like, why is it always the women? Like,
Yes.
why do you guys
I
always
know.
got to pick on the women in the
That's
situations?
very true.
Like,
I
it's
know.
like, I just, like,
Do you ever feel like people
male,
are like,
male celebrities or male, like, you know, male musicians or people in that, they hardly ever take the same,
It's
like,
true.
the occasional, like, you know, Justin Bieber, I feel bad. The guy's, like, constantly attacking
Yeah.
people. But, you know, like, it's always the women.
Yeah.
Like, can we just be better? Can we just be better people? Thank you.
Yes.
And
Yes.
while you're being better, can you head on over to premiercollectibles.com/Jenna. Make sure you pick up your copy of Gracefully You, that these are all being signed right now. You can see it live. Jenna, why don't you hold that up and show
do
the
you guys
people
want
at
to
home
see
and on their devices.
that does say my name. That was a particularly
That's a good
fancy autograph, but I'm keeping it together.
Oh. Oh, this is a good
Yeah.
question. This is, oh wait. This is your Aunt Colleen. I was like, this is a very
Colleen!
personal question. Your
Hi,
Aunt
Colleen.
Colleen in Danbury,
Danbury.
Connecticut says, in
Aw.
what ways did your grandmother Evelyn
Aw.
have an effect on you in buying 20 books as a gift for all the women in the family?
Oh,
Sisters, mom,
Colleen.
nieces, daughter, and daughter-in-law to be. So proud of
so
you always.
sweet.
Love your Aunt Colleen.
Okay,
That's not the
first of
cutest
all,
thing in the
My
world.
Aunt Colleen, hi. I love her so. She is, I always joke with her, she's my #1 fan. Truly. Like, even back in the day when I had done hardly anything, somehow she works in a hospital, somehow the entire hospital had seen, like, the little half a second I was in a music video. Like, she'd be like, that was Jenna! And, like, the whole hospital talked about it. Oh, that's so sweet. I love her. My grandmother passed away last year. I talk about it in this book that it was it not like a year of
Yeah, it was a hard year.
insane.
I've never really seen anybody go through so much in such
Yeah.
a short amount of time.
It was a lot of grief, a lot of challenges and death. You know, to be frank. So my grandmother Babciu, she's my Polish grandmother, had passed away, and she was a very hard, strong, passionate woman who was very musical. So I believe I learned a lot of her musicality as a kid, and her strength and resilience. And she just was a sassy, strong lady, and she loved really hard, and she loved in unique ways.
Yeah.
Like, I knew she loved me, even though she was really hard on us.
And this is your dad's mother.
This is my dad.
Right.
So I learned that what's important is that you feel and know people love you.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Aunt Colleen.
Thanks,
for the
Colleen, and I
question.
love you so much.
Can't wait to meet you. Let's see. Gordon in Modesto, California says,
Okay.
what do you find most challenging about your book? I mean, I sort of asked you that, but...
Yeah. To write it, or just in general about thing? What do you think? What do you think Gordon's saying?
I think he's asking you, like, what was the hardest thing about writing the book, maybe,
Hmm.
or the biggest challenge in writing, or maybe he's asking, whichever one you want to answer. Like, what's the hardest challenge that you tackle in the book? Or-
It's definitely a vulnerable thing to write. I'm used to promoting roles that I'm playing. I'm used to being of role, an actor. So to kind of put my heart on pages and to express what I'm into, and also to talk about challenges in life and how I've gotten through them, was cathartic. But it's also there is a vulnerable side to that. So that's a challenge in writing it, and also just and talking about it.
Great. I think we have time for a couple more questions. Yeah. Oh, it's time for the game.
Oh.
Did you know there's a game?
We have a game.
Yeah, let me just put away this trusty
Goodness.
iPad. And let me pull out my questions.
Oh my goodness. All right, game. Let's do it.
Ready?
Yes.
22 questions in 2 minutes.
2 minutes? Oh, okay. Hold on. Mom brain. Got it.
Ready?
Yep.
Where were you born?
Hartford, Connecticut.
Who would you want to play you in a movie?
Helena Christensen.
What was your first job?
A waitress at somewhere I got fired.
What's your biggest fear?
Losing complete control of my mind.
Oh, wow. Who?
Was that too deep?
Brutally honest. Who makes you laugh the most?
Steve Kazee.
What is the one thing that you need to have in your fridge at all times? Green juice.
Yeah, okay, green smoothies, and I think
What is your greatest accomplishment?
being a mother.
Who is the most interesting person that you met recently?
Pass.
You can't pass.
I don't know who's the most interesting person I've met recently, or just in life.
Recently.
Who have I met? Who was on Watch What Happens Live?
Oh, Deandra. Real Housewives of
Real
Texas.
Housewives of
She
Dallas.
was pretty
She was
brilliant. She was actually
fascinating.
fascinating.
Also, I'm fascinated by how much we looked alike.
What's your middle name?
Lee.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
I'm nervous.
And
Speed
don't
bumps.
say Beyonce's walk again.
I know.
Clearly. You upset the
I
world.
love Beyonce.
Yeah, do you want
do
to take?
I not
Could you want to
worship
take a
Beyonce?
minute to clear up those Beyonce comments? Because
Baby.
even I was like
Hold
scandaloso.
on. I worship Beyonce.
By the way, I can attest to that. Like the amount of times
I-
Homecoming is on in our house.
I watched
I'm just like,
Homecoming about
I get it. Beyonce is the
10,000
greatest.
times. I've been to the Rose Bowl. I've seen all her concerts. I am like Beyonce obsessed. but it was just like in the anyways, yeah, moving on. I love
Just wanna
Beyonce.
say.
I'm obsessed with her.
All right. What's the last book that you read?
I'm still reading at the, oh no, Three Women.
Oh. What's your favorite hobby?
Reading.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Mexican food.
It's not really a guilty pleasure.
Isn't it?
Everyone loves Mexican food.
What's my guilty pleasure?
You know, it's like something that you like that like you wouldn't want to tell anybody that you really like.
The Kardashians.
I don't even know if that counts.
Cute,
But it's
watching
fine.
the Kardashians.
Do you have any hidden talents?
Not really.
What color is your toothbrush?
It's white.
What is your secret snack?
Oh, Pirate's Pity?
I mean, I'd go with Skittles if we were on the dating game. Like, and I feel like I would.
Yeah, but not anymore because Evie reads me and she's like,
That's true.
Mom,
She doesn't allow you
is
to
that
have
healthy
any
for the
food
baby?
right now. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
What is the last movie you saw in theaters?
Hustlers.
Oh, right, we did see that. What is the last gift that you gave?
A crystal.
What are you getting me for my birthday?
Not telling you.
Oh, too bad. What causes
A
very
horse,
dear to
apparently.
your heart? Yes. What causes dear to your heart?
Kids and animals.
What's number one on your bucket list?
Travel everywhere.
They're coming because this interview
It's
has
in
been
New York.
fire.
Oh!
Where do you want to go that you've never been? Final question.
Egypt.
Oh.
India.
Hey Siri, make a note to book a trip to Egypt.
Egypt, as
as your daughter says.
She is obsessed with Egypt, so she always goes, I want to go to Egypt.
Well, I would like to say one more time for everyone to head over to premiercollectibles.com/Jenna to pick up your copy of Gracefully You. I personally think you will love the book. It's beautiful. It's so well done. Like, I have to say, like, on a really serious note, I was blown away by how good this book looks. Just on a, like,
babe.
base level. I was like, oh my god, like, this book looks
know.
incredible.
Did you love it? All the pictures.
Yeah, the
in
pictures are
there?
beautiful. The way it's like put together, it's just like it's really beautiful. And I think
Thank you.
people would just love it. And
Did
like you
you-
said, it kind of works on a lot of levels. It's a great book to just have like laying
Yeah.
around. You know, like pop in, check out a chapter or two, or sit down and like read front to back.
I'm so
Works
glad
on a
you
lot of
thought that is exactly. I wanted people to have this and be able to go like this and go, oh, you know, let me read a little bit of something. That's awesome.
Anything else? Got anything else you want to add to this?
Any other questions?
Any other questions?
Live stream?
No, we're
We
good. Let's just wrap this bad boy up. Thank you
Thanks,
so
babe.
much for taking the time to be here
So
today. It's
nice
really been a
to
pleasure.
see you.
Congrats again on the pregnancy.
Thanks.
And I can't wait to see what happens.
Me too.
Yeah, awesome.
Thanks for
Well, thanks
being
everybody.
here.
Thanks for tuning in.